Now, United's unconvincing start to the season continues after narrowly beating Wolves last Monday, and it was a poor performance and poor result, obviously, at Spurs yesterday, or Saturday evening, I beg your pardon. Jamie O'Hara and Gabby Agbonlahor were hosting the game day phone-in while the match was going on, and took this call from this raging Mancunian.
I worked at a warehouse. When I didn't brush up properly, I got told off. That man is on the sideline chewing gum and not even animated. My 82-year-old mother is more animated than him. He needs to go. The guy needs to go. We need someone in. Now, you were saying Conte. No, Conte. Conte would have been the perfect manager at United.
You want Ten Hag to go, Bob?
Sorry, mate.
Who do you want to go?
I want Ten Hag to go.
So you want the Glazers and Ten Hag to go?
They can both go. You can't solve the puzzle. You can't say get rid of the Glazers, because the Glazers are holding United back, and keep him there. The only thing he'll win with this mentality is the cup is already won. Get that clown out the club and even bring Moyes back. He's got no passion. Like I say, my 82-year-old mother...
You're winding me up there, Bob.
No,
David
I'm
Moyes.
not.
David
I'm
Moyes.
not.
Bob, come on, mate.
Blimey, Bob sounds like last one out, shut the door. He wants everyone gone, Bob.
Bob's not having it, is he?
No. But again, look, that's what happens after matches. Fans,
right.
they just can't contain themselves sometimes. When they see a really disappointing performance, and actually, United kind of limped second half, didn't they, against Spurs? Do you know what? So it's interesting because now they've got the goalie very comfortable with the ball at his feet, and he can play short, and he can sort of invite, as it was at the weekend, Spurs, invite them to come and pressurise in order to try and find someone else. I'm beginning to wonder a little bit if that's going to expose other areas at United, Ali, that aren't quite good enough. In other words, the energy between the two 18-yard boxes.
100%, yeah.
Those two wide players at the moment, Anthony, Garnacho, it's very early days for him. He's a young kid.
But it's still a problem.
But if you're going to invite teams onto you, if you invite teams onto you and then you go ping 50, 60 yards out to these flyers, they got to go and make something happen. They got to go and look dangerous. They got to get beyond people. They've got to go and score their goals. And I don't see that from those areas for United, as well as everything else at the minute.
Well, we're going to get more on United because 1999 treble winner Dwight Yorke is joining us right now. Yorke, a very good morning, mate. How are you this morning?
Morning, Dwight.
Morning, guys. Pretty good. How are you, Pete?
I'm very good, my old son. Very good. Listen, what did you make of them, your old team at the weekend? I thought second half, in particular, Dwight, poor. Nowhere near the required standards.
Listen, you guys both played the game at the very top, so it's not rocket science to really work that one out. United will clearly deserve to lose the game. They wasn't at the races. They didn't perform the level that we all anticipate. Tottenham is a fantastic place to go and play football. We know that. They play a certain way that we all like to watch the game played. And United have always done well. But to get beat in the manner like they have done, it's really disappointing. It's a bit of a concern. Even though it's 2 games in, we certainly were not going to talk about being panicked. But if your manager's sitting there and certainly looking at the back of the Wolves' performance and getting 3 points there, we were a little bit lucky in terms of that as well. You will be a little bit concerned. You expect a little bit more from United, and it certainly wasn't there. And it's probably back to the drawing board, I think.
York, I want to specifically ask you about the forward area for United. It looks to me that they're clearly not firing. I think it's a problem they've got. Andy and I were speaking briefly about wide areas. He's right, there's still a lot of youth there with Garnacho. But the other side, I'm a bit concerned about Anthony. You've got Jadon Sancho, and you end up you're playing Marcus Rashford through the middle, who looks more comfortable in one of the wider positions. It just doesn't seem to be fitting at the moment.
It certainly isn't. And again, you go back to the names that you mentioned. Rashford has scored predominantly most of his goals from playing on the left-hand side and coming in on his favorite foot to create. He's got that dynamic. He can go past people. So we know what he brings to the table. The hardest position, Ali, and is your back to goal. Mm-hmm. If you're not clever enough and you don't play it on a consistent basis, how are you going to get good at it? The reason why you played number 9 and only number 9 only in your playing career, and you develop that knack for scoring goals, is because you have the experience of playing there week in, week out. These guys are part-time players that want to do a job for the team, and that's okay. That's part and parcel of the game. But he's definitely not a natural number 9. So you want to play arguably your best player in the position that he's comfortable. and find another way to find somebody who's probably, the club has got under 23 teams. So there must be a young number 9 there until obviously Rashford is obviously fit to come into that equation. Or play someone there who at least going to give you what a number 9 is expected to do. Right? Yeah. And that's what great, that experience. So
they're probably waiting for Højlund. They're probably waiting for the man they spent 72 million quid on.
Absolutely.
And when you buy one for that sort of money, the last thing you want is him coming through the door not ready to go. And unfortunately, that is the case. So Ten Hag probably is hoping that he's going to be around sooner rather than later. But a lot of pressure on him then, Dwight, isn't there?
Yeah, well, the expectation of coming to the club is. You got to embrace it. I mean, this is the thing. You want to, as a young player coming through, you want to be at the best club. You want to play for the biggest team and in the biggest arena. Man United is that. So you got to embrace that. What's the point in playing if you're not going to embrace it? And that's what I find bizarre about when players go to big club, because ultimately as a kid growing up, that's where you want to be. Yeah. You want to be in the best team. So here's your opportunity to go forward and do that, and they're not embraces it.
Dwight,
so, go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say we're running out of time, but I wanted to ask you quickly about Villa. Obviously, poor performance, poor result the week before up at Newcastle. More like themselves. Injury to Tyrone Mings obviously doesn't help, but that was a far better performance, a convincing one.
Oh, impressive, isn't it? To be fair, after coming back from such a hammering at Newcastle, to come and turn that around like they did. I think that, Villa is certainly, a lot is expected. Andy and I play for that football club. We know how big that football club is. And so, the expectation are really high. The owners really back the manager in many respects. And you expect Villa to be in and among the top 6 this season.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.